people? My name is Haley, and this video is just going to be about my experience with what some people call sleep paralysis. And I am so glad that I am not the only person who has been through something like this, because I've never really told anyone because I just didn't think that they would believe me or take me seriously. Unless it happened to you, it is hard to take something like this seriously because it doesn't happen to everybody. And I think a lot of people that it does happen to, they don't tell people either, because they either are convinced themselves that it was a dream, didn't happen, or they just want to try to forget about it because it just freaked them out. But so it's the only reason why I am making this video is because I found out that I'm not the only one. And so now I officially know that I'm not crazy and I'm not delusional, and I know that it wasn't a dream. Okay, so I have a lot of stories about things that happened to me before, but I'm just gonna talk about the ones that come to my mind first. So the first time that this thing happened, I couldn't have been no more than 8 or 9. And I just remember being in my mom's room, laying on the floor with my big sister, and we would watch TV in my mom's room because she was the only one that had cable. So we just sleep in my mom's room and we just sleep on the floor of my mom's bed. And I just remember it was Halloween time like it is now, and at the time the movie The Nightmare Before Christmas had just came out. So I just remember right before everybody decided to go to sleep, that was the last thing that I saw before my mom turned the TV off. And the commercial was just the movie had all these ghosts in it and whatever. It was just a commercial for the movie. And that was the last thing I saw before my mom finally turned the TV off. And as soon as she turned the TV off and I got comfortable wherever I was laying, I think I was laying on my back too, all of a sudden this weird weight fell over me, this weird weight of somebody just weighing a ton, just laying right on top of me. And it was inhuman the way how heavy it was. It was I couldn't even move, twitch, nothing. And I don't know why, but even though I was only 8 or 9, for some reason I knew what it was. I knew it was a ghost or something. I don't know why. And nothing ever happened to me before that. Just something in my mind, it just told me that, because we go to church and everything and we learn about stuff like that. But I don't remember ever being taught in church that they can actually physically come in contact with you as far as trying to attack you, unless you are messing around with magic or something. But for some reason I just knew in the back of my mind that this was something that was spiritual. And I'm laying right next to my sister, right next to her, and I wanted to kick her and tell her to help me, and I couldn't. And every time I would try to open my mouth to say something, it would take my breath away, kind of. It was just really hard to breathe, and I can only get out a faint whisper if I could say anything. It was so intense and it was so scary, and I don't know how long it happened. I don't think it was a long time. Could have been maybe 2 or 3 minutes. I'm not sure, but 2 or 3 minutes when you are terrified and you can't move, and I guess you do feel kind of paralyzed. It feels like forever, but feel helpless. And then what really made me never want to tell anyone about stuff like this is when I woke up the next day and I tried to tell my mom what happened, and she kind of blew it off, like, tried to basically humor me and tell me that I dreamed it, and was just like, oh wow, that was a really scary dream. Did you pray or whatever? But she just was like, just I can tell the way she was treating me. She didn't believe me. She was just like humoring me and just like giving me a pat on the head, like, yeah, 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 it's all right, it's over now. You woke up. It's a dream. Like, she just did not believe me. I could tell by the way she was treating me. So after that, like, it pissed me off because I'm like, I'm telling you, no, it wasn't a dream. I know when I'm dreaming because I didn't even get to fall asleep yet. I didn't even close my eyes yet. That's how I know it happened. So that pissed me off. And then it didn't happen to me again until somewhere around when I was a teenager. It used to happen a lot when I was a teenager, like a lot. So many times that I got used to it. Like, it got to the point where I could feel it coming, and I could either wake up really quick or jump out of my bed really quick before it happened, and it would disappear, whatever. Or it would just, like, come, and I'm like, oh, God, here we go again. Whatever, yeah, hold me down, and we, like, that's how, like, used to it I was. And then, so, the one thing that happened to me is when it started to, like, hurt me. Like, I'd be in bed, and I would feel it coming, and I guess it would be I wouldn't be quick enough to get up out of bed or whatever. It would just be really hard for me to try to get strength because I would feel like I got drained or like somebody stuck a needle in my arm and I'm like drugged and I can't. Like, I'm weak, really, really weak. And at first it used to just hold me down, but then it started to make it so that I could barely breathe. And every time I would like inhale, it would take more and more of my breath away, so that it would make it really hard for my chest to like expand and everything. And then I would just feel like something was like digging their elbow like in my sides, like the really sensitive part of your sides where like people tickle you at. Like, it was some like pointy. It felt like somebody's really pointy, bony elbow was just like dragging its elbow all the way into my side, back and forth, like just hurting me. Like, and I couldn't move at all, which pissed me off. And it was hurting me, and it was pissing me off so much that I actually gathered enough strength to say, stop. Like, I didn't say it loud enough, like loud, but I said it to where I could hear it, because that's how bad it was hurting me. And then I just heard this growl. I can't even describe it. It wasn't like an animal that I've ever heard of. It was just like a growl, and then it did it harder, like fuck you, like, and just did it harder. And it pissed me off, and so I would just pray, and it feel like if God did help me, he took forever. That's what it felt like. And I'm like, I don't know. But that's all I could do was pray. But it feels like, I don't know. It doesn't always go away immediately when you pray. So I was just wondering, like, is it something that I'm doing with my life that's, making God not, help me as soon as he helps, like, some other people in certain situations? Like, I've heard a lot of people say that they would just say Jesus' name or something like that, and it would just disappear. But it doesn't happen that fast for me. It's not all the time. And then, so I started sleeping with sleeping pills because, like, I just couldn't take it anymore. It was just ridiculous. Like, if you can't sleep and you can't, like, rejuvenate yourself and get ready for the next day, you're screwed. You have to sleep. So, I mean, yeah, I pray before I go to sleep, but I also take sleeping pills just in case, because sometimes I get it even early in the morning when I'm just waking up. And so, anyway, okay, my last story, that's the last straw that I was like, okay, from now on until I figure out how to get rid of this thing, I'm taking sleeping pills every day. unless I'm at somebody else's house, I take sleeping pills at home because it doesn't happen when I'm at anyone else's house, and I can sleep just fine, and I'm not scared. So this one time, I am in. I think I was telling people about what was happening to me, and then I was telling people about what I read and what like preachers and people told me about how certain things you watch and listen to can bring that on you. And I think I was looking it up, and I probably was YouTube, and I started to tell like my friends because well, not all of them experienced anything, but a couple. Well, one of my friends doesn't really. I don't know. She's never felt anything or been doing anything like that, but another one of my friends has, and I was just telling her, you know, what I read, and when I woke up in the morning, I had 5 really, really skinny scratch marks on like my right titty. Not even playing. Like it's faded out now, but I can still kind of see where it was. And it wasn't like a human scratch. It was really skinny, and it was 5 of them. Like whatever scratched me had a claw with 5 fingers or whatever, and it scratched the shit out of me like a cat would just like scratch at you. That's what it looks like, and it freaked me the fuck out because I could tell that it was deep enough to made it bleed a little bit, but I was asleep when it happened, so it dried up. By the time I woke up and saw it, when I took my shirt off, it was dried up, but I could still see it, and it freaked me out, and I was like, I don't know. I felt like it was mad at me for telling people about them, and I didn't want to freak out, and I didn't want to tell anyone because, God, it's so complicated. I don't know how I get people to believe me, or I was just scared they blame me, or I don't know. I just couldn't. I think I suppressed a lot of really scary stuff that happened to me, and so that's what I think I did so that I could function. It's like suppress it, didn't think about it, kind of tried to blow it off, and then the next day when I woke up, no, I told my friend, and I can tell she didn't believe me. I think she thinks I exaggerate, or I'm just dreaming and I don't know what I'm talking about. But I'm like, I know when I'm dreaming. When I know that it was a dream. No, it wasn't a dream because I remember everything. When I have a dream, I forget like 95% of my dream, unless it was scary or whatever. But even if it is a nightmare, I still only remember like a very small part of my dream. And this wasn't a dream. I know it wasn't. And I know I didn't do it because I tried to do it to myself, and you can't scratch your chest like that with your own hands and your own nails. My nails are not that sharp, and they're not that skinny. Just no way. So like I could just tell she didn't. I don't know. She just didn't believe me. So like fuck it. Like I don't know how I'm gonna get rid of this thing. And then even more insane, the next day I woke up and there's 5 scratches on my left titty. Like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, are they, like, I felt like they were mad at me because I was exposing them and telling people where they come from and how you get them in your house and stuff like that, because that I've never, ever, ever had any marks on me before. Like, I've been hurt and suffocated before, but marks, like, really? Like, okay, I can't take this shit anymore. It's ridiculous. But, yeah. See, this video is like 14 minutes long. Okay. I got a few more minutes left. I'll tell just one more. And, yeah. When I was trying to wean myself off of the sleeping pills I was on because, I can tell it was hurting, my insides were kind of hurting, so I tried to not take them for maybe I think it might be 2 weeks. I just went without taking them so that I could kind of cleanse my body out because it's really not good to take sleeping pills every day. So I kind of just depended on trying to pray before I go to bed and hope that it will help. And it seems to help sometimes, but this one time, I was about to go to bed. I had my computer on, and I always sleep with something playing in the background, like the TV on or the computer on, and I have a DVD in there. And so I turned my computer on. I think I turned on like The Simpsons or something, and I was getting in my bed. And as soon as I got comfortable, like this is how I know that was a dream because I didn't even close my eyes yet. I just hopped in the bed. And as soon as I got comfortable, it was really weird. As soon as I got comfortable, this weird, like, fog, this trance thing kind of came over me because I was staring at my computer, watching my shows, and all of a sudden I felt like I was asleep, even though my eyes were open, like awake asleep. And here we go again with the whole paralyzed feeling of not being able to move or speak. And the next thing I saw was this little ball of light, maybe as big as, I don't know, like a ping pong ball or something. Just white ball of light floating really slow towards me, freaking me out. Heart is beating so fast, and there wasn't anything I could do but close my eyes. I just closed my eyes because I'm like, okay, whatever this thing is, if it's going to touch me or turn into something, I don't want to see it. So I did the only thing I could do was close my eyes. So I closed my eyes, and when I opened them, it was gone. But I don't know if it was gone because it disappeared or did it go in me or what. But then all of a sudden, this weird feeling of having a needle being put in your arm and just being drugged and just being so, like, I feel like I was given like a muscle relaxer. All of my entire body felt really, really relaxed and limp, and it actually felt really good, which I'm not gonna lie, it felt awesome. It was just really, really relaxing and really, really, like, I don't know how to explain how comfortable it was. Like, it felt good, but something in the back of my mind was telling me that this isn't good. And then the next thing that I felt was like, I felt like something was cradling me. Like, when you go pick a baby up off the bed and you get it by his head, his back, you support his back and neck and everything to scoop him up. That's what I felt like something was about to scoop me up, cradle my back and head and everything else. And it was about to lift me up. I felt my body like moving, and I don't know if I think my eyes were still closed, and I wasn't asleep yet, but I was relaxed. I remember this whole thing. That's how I know it wasn't a dream. And I felt like my body was about to rise, and I don't know if subconsciously I told myself to get up, or maybe an angel made me get up. I don't know, but something just pushed me out of bed, like snapped me out of this trance. And I just jumped out of bed, ran to my computer, and just sat there for like a good hour. It was like probably 4:30 in the morning, going around 5 or something, when it was over. And I couldn't think of, I don't know. I don't know if I woke myself up subconsciously or if something else told me to get up because this is not good. Whatever's happening right now is not good. Yeah, it feels good right now, but this is not good. That's what I was getting. So, it's so many, but that one in the scratch is the last fucking straw. Like, this has to stop right now, or else I'm gonna go insane. Because most doctors and people, they want to think everything is scientific, and it's not. And if you're not someone that believes in God and angels and stuff like that, then yeah, I am gonna sound crazy. And there's no doctor that's gonna tell me, don't take pills. All the fuck they're gonna do is give me pills. So, I don't know. Do I need, like, what? If anybody can figure out why this happens, or what I should do, or have you ever experienced it, or whatever, just let me know, or whatever. Just comment, and try not to be rude. I know it sounds crazy, but I'm not crazy, at least not yet. But it will drive me crazy if I don't make this stop. So, okay, that's my story. I got more, but this is enough for right now. So, okay, people, just tell me what you think. Later.